Hi, my name is Shannon Giswaldi. I'm a special education teacher and a program coordinator here at the Autism Project. During the 2016-2017 school year, the Autism Project created an evidence-based peer mentoring program. The focus of this program was to enhance the confidence, communication, and social skills of their peers on the autism spectrum. The program was based off of the national standards and benchmarks of the best effective practices of peer mentoring. In addition, our peer mentors gain new understanding and empathy of those individuals on the autism spectrum. We put the framework into place, and it was amazing for me to see how the relationships between the mentors and the mentees naturally evolved on their own. This is our story.
I'm very interested in the brain itself, and on top of that I really love working with kids. So this seemed like a really cool thing to do with kids my own age and just really get the hands-on volunteer experience that I love.
Social groups at the Autism Project are ways for children with autism or other special needs to learn how to engage with other students. The peer mentor group has been a great asset to the social groups, so they're peer models, helping them socialize, stay on task. It's just been incredible.
So basically what autism is, it's a bio-neurological, in case for people who don't know, happens up here, but it impacts the normal development of the brain in the areas of social interaction, obviously, communication skills, and cognitive function. We typically have difficulties in verbal and nonverbal communication, social interactions, and play activities.
Working with them, you are in the moment and you have to take your time, and the appreciation part comes in because when you take your time, you see the little things with them and the little things that they find interesting. You're like, wow, you know, you don't really pay attention to that on a daily basis.
A lot of these kids don't get to socialize as much with other kids in the schools, and so they form a relationship, a good relationship with a lot of kids in the groups, and it opens them up to the social aspects that they wouldn't normally have in a school setting.
There are a couple kids who didn't necessarily fit in with the group as much, or they weren't as outgoing, so they sometimes were by themselves. So as it progressed, I started to, and so did the other people with me, kind of each pick a particular person that was by themselves most of the time and really focus with them. Santana was really quiet at first, and she kind of didn't speak much in the group, but then when you were with her one-on-one, she'd really open up about some of her interests and really showcased how much she knew about certain things that she really loved.
Santana has really opened up and come out of her shell, so it's really nice to see.
Do you want to start? Do you want to be partners for the first round? Adam was more non-verbal than the others. He talked, just not as much. So I sat with him a lot and we played different games. He just didn't really want to talk as much, but he still wanted to be with people. And so that had prohibited him from kind of being part or more involved in the group before. So you always have to just be really careful but also respectful of everyone else and really get to know the person you're working with in order to best help them.
I ended up spending a lot of time with a kid, Cameron. The other kids would be playing air hockey, playing foosball, while he would be sitting off to the side playing Legos by himself. It kind of evolved through the weeks how I was spending more and more time with him, to the point at the end where I was really working with him one-on-one throughout the entire thing. We had gone bowling as a group. He loved that. Also, I was able to do the autism walk with him. It was great to be able to talk to him and build a relationship with him, seeing how he evolved throughout the weeks that I was able to spend time with him.
Nick is the happiest kid I've ever met. He's blind, he's nonverbal, but he doesn't really care. We'll go out in public and he's having a blast. He wants to do everything. He wants to golf, he wants to play games.
This is the first time that he was outside the school. He looks forward to coming. They always do something different. And he's been going on the social events, going out in the community with the group here. And I would say these are his friends.
When we went to the arcade, he really loves roller coasters, so I made sure that he went on the roller coaster experience ride. And like we spent all the money on the card with just playing that game. It was fun.
They get him, and he goes right with them. So there has to be some trust there.
I honestly haven't met anybody like him before. Happiest kid I've ever met. I definitely learned more about autism working with Nick, because autism isn't something you could just pin to one definition. Autism is a whole rainbow. And like there's different shades in a rainbow, so you can't really just pinpoint it to one shade of red, because there's also blue and there's green and there's chartreuse. You really can't just say one color.
Different people are on different levels of the spectrum. You could tell by the way they conducted themselves, by the way they interacted. They're really, really great kids, and they just have a little trouble getting out the words. Having someone around their age, which was what we were there for, it was easier for them to open up and for them to be comfortable than maybe an adult that was telling them what to do all day.
I did notice a change in some of the kids' behavior when kids more their age were around them. They tended to open up more to those mentors, and you just get to see another side of the kids that you don't normally see when someone a little bit older is around.
When we did bowling night, one time I saw the kids really like bonding, really like just your typical like teenagers like getting together and having a good night out and cheering for one another. It was really nice to see them.
I've seen huge strides socially with many of the members. When they come into the group, they're so happy, they're glowing, so happy to see each other and their mentor. So it's been an awesome experience.
On three, we ready? One, two, three, go team!
This is me. Whether it is gritty, whether there are times that I am emotionally unstable, whether there are times that I am low self-esteem, and then there are those good times where it's great, those good times where I can do things like this. So no, I would not give up autism for the world, no matter how complicated or hard it is. It's hard to not be able to relate, but at the same time, it is not a bad thing at all. It is just a different way of living in a different culture.
Like you come in with a mindset of society and what they think of it, considering it as a bad thing. But then you come in and you finally work with them and you develop understanding with working with them.
Integrating outside of school, just like daily things like, oh, let's go to the arcade and play some games. Like, I think that's so beautiful.
The kids with autism, they come in and it's like a second home to them, and it's like, whether or not they realize it, it's like their own area to do certain things that they want to do, and like things that people wouldn't necessarily let them do. So I think it's a great thing that they're doing this for them.
Being with them was less like a mentoring job as it was just hanging out with friends. It's a really great time. It's a really, really good cause. When you finally get that trust in them, things really open up for them and it really becomes something special.
100%, I would recommend this program to anyone. They keep trying to get more and more things rolling, and they're getting grants, and that's so great, and I know they're gonna do great things.
The kids changed and became more vocalized and really came out of their shells a lot when they had the peer mentors around. And I think it was really helpful for the kids to have somebody their own age with them who wanted to talk to them and wanted to be around them, because they don't necessarily get that in their school environment. A lot of the kids look forward to coming to their groups and everything and being surrounded by kids similar to them. It helped me, I think, personally grow in my knowledge not only of autism but of people in general, and also helped me find something I'm now passionate about.
It's nice that they're taking an interest in autism. Perhaps they'll work in the field. Getting this experience could really help our kids in the future.
You guys are taking a step, and I don't think you know how important it is to take just one step into breaking down those barriers of stigma, breaking down those barriers of this culture that has said and has put these labels on us that are not true. And I think everybody else here can also say thank you for just, even just thinking about doing this, because it means a lot. It really does.